All right.
C'est mon père, ça me fait bien tiens. Je me fais dire non kotu, era one radio. C'est mon père, je me fais bien tiens. Je me fais dire non kotu, era one radio. Oh, ayum pam chuma, asam pam chuma.
Hello, beautiful people of Ghana. This is ENZYMES Specialist Hospital. We are so excited to announce to our people Ghana that we are finally opened and we are accepting patients. At ENZYMES Specialist Hospital, our extraordinary physicians and nurses are here to provide a high quality medical service to our extraordinary patients. Our services include primary care services, maternal, neonatal, and pediatric services. We also have an in-house pharmacy. We have x-ray and laboratory services available to you. Come to us for all your healthcare needs and you will be happy you did because we believe the health is wealth. Thank you and stay blessed.
Hello. Good evening, everyone, radio listeners and viewers. It's another show time. It's another health time. This is the Health is Wealth show, so you got to protect your health. Well, every Saturday evening, as much as we can, we try to bring you this additional broadcast where we discuss health issues because your health practically is your wealth. If you have good health, you are worth. You wake up in the morning, you don't have any pain. Sometimes you complain about money or resources, but then if you get sick one day, realize that the money you have doesn't even amount to much. Health is actually wealth. That is why we drum this information to you. Well, let me make a quick disclaimer before we go on. Dr. Babatunde and I are doing this for no financial gain. It's totally voluntary. So we try to bring you this by virtue of the fact that God graced us to be able to do our PhD programs in public health epidemiology precisely. And so we are sharing what we studied at school. We are in no means medical doctors professionally. We have health knowledge. We are medical technology, so we understand how the body works and what needs to be done by the doctor. That is why we have also volunteered to bring you this broadcast. So Babatunde is not gaining any money. We are doing this volunteer, neither am I. So Doc, thank you very much for coming again. I mean, you are a frequent flyer. Now you are not even a guest anymore. You are my co-host. So this is something that we're going to do for life as long as the Lord Jesus tarries. All right. Tonight we're coming your way from the Era One studio. The number to call in which we always do encourage is 240-280-2633, or you can text us 510-9310946. And on behalf of our studio manager, Dr. Setutu, also known as Ostus for short, we are bringing you this live show. Doc, you are very welcome.
Thank you so much.
And any shout outs, anybody celebrating their birthday, you want to shout out to them or anything?
Now that I can, remember right now, but I just want to, thank those that are available today to do the entire sports in Jubilee Christian Church International. And I want to encourage them that I will see them next week, Saturday and Sunday. But I was unable to go today, but I'll follow up next week. But thank you so much for those that showed up, and congratulations to Blue Team for giving. I think they won by 6-0.
Is it final or just?
No, today is just the stats. So next week will be the grand finale. So 6-0. I think Blue House and Green House play today, and Red House and Yellow House.
6-0, is that soccer or what is that?
Yeah, soccer.
6-0.
6-0. So I was wondering whether the
Didn't have a goalkeeper.
the goalkeeper was not there or what happened.
He must have collected some money, some bribe. Who is that? Let me talk to that goalkeeper. Is that Mr. Van? That was Van keeping the post.
I don't know.
Mr. Van,
Somebody was there that was keeping. So
wow.
yeah, maybe we don't know. But
That guy was drunk in the Holy Ghost and he just went praying.
I will ask for the true details.
Oh, Mr. Van, come and answer yourself. We need to hear what happened because you can't collect 6 goals like that. I mean, even with the goalkeeper's back turned to the field, he couldn't be taking 6 goals.
Telling me a goalkeeper with 2 legs and 2 hands did not even catch one of those 6 goals.
Wow. We'll have to talk to the goalkeeper. We'll talk after that. Anyway, shout out to the blue team for kicking some people's behind. Wow, that is massive. So they are yet to do the track events, and they haven't started that yet.
Yeah, those will come up next week too, on Saturday. So please, you can come live next week Saturday to come and participate, and also come with your, soccer boots and your jersey, Charles. I know you know how to play soccer. So come and show us your skill.
I should have been there. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, well, it's good to exercise. It's very, very important. I mean, physical exercise is very, very important. I mean, we've talked on this show several times and we'll keep talking about it. You need to exercise your heart, especially after eating a meal or a bowl full of broccoli and all that stuff. You need to go and run and get your heart pumping too. In order not to get your veins or your atherosclerosis or all the fat accumulating, and then your heart is struggling to pump the blood. Anyway, well, we have a nice show for you tonight. Dr. Olode and I are going to go over. We've been doing a series on Know Your Numbers. Know Your Numbers. What does that mean? Pretty much everything in this life is about numbers. Your age is a number. Your height is a number. Your weight is a number. Some of you ladies, you stand on the scale and you are terrified. You are scared. You don't even want to stand on it because the number that comes displays to you, you are scared. So you don't even want to look at it. But then you have to stand on it and know your numbers, how you weigh. Your sodium level, when you go to do your labs and your doctor says, okay, go to the lab, let them collect your blood and test your sodium, your potassium, your cardiac enzyme, all that. They all come in numbers. So you have to know them. And there's always a range. We've done this on this show before and we are not done. So that's how we started about Know Your Numbers. And we did a few sub-series after that. The last time we met, I think a couple of weeks ago, we did growth hormones. So this is going to be a series about, lab, medical, technology stuff, because most of you think it's only the medical doctors that are the heroes and the heroines that should be given all the credit. Without the medical technologists, they can't do their work. They can look at your face, look at your eye color and tell you are jaundiced or you lack blood, you are anemic and all that. But when it comes to some diagnosis, they need us, the medical technology, the lab people, to draw your blood and test them and make sure your levels are within range, below range, or above range. So it's very important. So when you see a medical technologist like Babatunde, please salute him. They do a great job. They hide behind the scenes, but what they are doing is awesome, because without him, the doctors can't do much. They can conjure, they can whatever they want to do, but they need us. So kudos to you, Doc, for what you do every day. All right, so tonight we are looking at enzymes. One may ask, what is an enzyme? What is enzyme at all? It's part of the chemicals that help your body to, and I say every day on this show that you can Google everything and study. You can go to school yourself on the internet. Google, you can learn. I know most people learn by just Googling and, studying by themselves. So you can learn everything. But the most important thing is that you can Google and learn, but then it's not as best as having a professional in-house like Doc is here to explain the thing that we read. For instance, I can go on internet and read what is an enzyme. It's a protein that speeds up chemical reactions in living organisms by lowering the activation energy required for the reaction to occur. They are biological catalysts that are not destroyed or permanently altered during the reaction and can be used repeatedly. They don't actually do the whole job, but they take part in the reaction. At the end of it, they remain unchanged. That's why we call them biological catalysts. But after reading all this and telling all this, it's not going to be as good and perfect as when Doc explains it better for us. So I'm going to hand over to him. We have our slides ready, and so he's going to go over and explain to us, Doc, what is an enzyme? Why should we care about enzyme? Are they even important to us? He's going to tell us. So, Doc, take it away.
Thank you so much,
You're welcome.
Dr. Boyson. Really appreciate this opportunity again, which our viewers will get their pen and paper to put something down that can help them. Importance of enzymes to our body. And now we're going to be talking about the introduction, types of enzymes, what they do, diseases caused by enzymes deficiencies, and also final tips and takeaway. So, what are enzymes? They are proteins that help speed up chemical reactions in our body. We might be wondering, what is the meaning of this? You know, when you eat a bowl of rice or you eat a bowl of food, whatever it is. Well, some people eat mixture of everything. So you have rice, you have beans, you have all those, you have vegetables, you have meat on top of it, you have all kinds plantain. Let's just be moderate, and you swallow all those, and you'll be wondering what happened. After a few hours, you are going to the restroom to go and defecate and also release it from your body. What has happened? So I'll be getting to that shortly. So enzymes are essential for digestion, liver function, and much more. Like I said, you don't know exactly what happened to the food that you put in your stomach few hours later. So I'm going to explain that shortly. So enzymes are proteins that help speed up metabolism or the chemical reactions in our body. Just to explain a little bit, so that different enzymes in our body, I'll get to that too shortly, that those ones that breaks down carbohydrates, those ones that break down proteins, and there are some that breaks down the lipids. When you eat oily food and all that, how that one is being taken care of and all that. I will explain that also shortly. So what are enzymes? They build some substance and break others down. All living things have enzymes. God created us like that. We are all formed that way, so that all these things that we eat with our mouth are not just in our body. For some reason, after a while, they disappear. While some are being stored in our body, some are being, taken care of so that our body can absorb them. I'm really trying to use lay terms so that we don't get people confused. And
Exactly.
that is why, I'm trying to explain, in detail. So your body needs some of these nutrients, and your body cannot really, gulp in rice, as it were, or beans or plantain. So it needs to be broken down into certain molecules that your body can absorb. And this is where the enzyme comes in. So our bodies,
So pretty much, Doc, what you are saying is that when we eat a bowl of rice, let's say whether it's brown rice or white rice, it goes in as white rice, and of course,
or
I
yellow
know,
rice.
or
Mm-hmm.
yellow rice, or and I know an enzyme like tyline, which is in
Mm-hmm.
saliva. In
Yeah.
saliva, breaks down the rice and takes it down. So that rice that you eat, white or yellow or brown, doesn't come through our rear end as the white rice, but it goes through processes, and the processes include enzyme working on them to change it,
Yes.
modify it, and do give us the final product.
Give us
Pretty much.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. So like I said, if you all remember, during the course of this presentation, when we're talking about hormones, we mentioned some parts of the body, and also we mentioned some organs in our body. For example, like pancreas, the
Mhm.
liver, then you have your stomach.
Okay.
You know, these organs have different enzymes that are situated in them that helped food, gradually to be broken down so that your body can absorb it. So, for example, now if you have a bowl of eba that you've swallowed, and in your stomach may look a little bit bigger than it
Okay.
used to be for some time. But hours later, you discovered that the thing has disappeared. What happened? That means that the enzyme in your body is working, because that food has been broken down and each and every part of it have been absorbed into your body, and the ones that are not useful anymore are being released to be passed out. So, like I said, I'll be explaining that in a few minutes, and I just bear with me.
Okay.
So the next thing is, what do enzymes do? Enzyme helps with breathing, with building muscles, nerve functions, ridding our body of toxins. Like I said earlier, those things that your body doesn't need, from those foods that you've eaten that will perhaps will be dangerous to your health, the enzyme will help you get rid of them, or they might even be transformed into something else that your body can also use. So I'll be touching on that in a few minutes. So what are the different types of enzymes? I mentioned about rice earlier on. Rice is a carbohydrate. A carbohydrate that has, when you look at carbohydrates, most staple food for Africans, carbohydrates. You
The
have
starch,
rice, you have yam,
the starchy food.
potato, yeah, potato. You have cassava,
Eba,
diff-
eba.
all kinds, that we eat. So carbohydrates is the enzyme that acts on carbohydrates. And the family of carbohydrates are the amylase, the tyline, and also the likes, that helps, break down carbohydrate from your mouth. Tyline will help you emulsify it in your mouth, breaks it down. Then amylase will continue with that, breaking down process while it's going through your intestine to your stomach, and your pancreas will release also amylase and lipase, and also some other enzymes that can help in breaking down that carbohydrate. So keep in mind that your body is so manufactured in a way that it runs like an engine of a car.
Okay.
Your body needs oil, it needs carbohydrates, needs just like you behave to your car. You need to be helping your body, to be nourished that way also. Your body needs water to run those things. If there's no water in your body, guess what? Those enzymes are not going to work,
Function well.
because there are certain pH that they're supposed to be for them to actually act. So if they are not in that pH, which I'm going to explain in a few minutes, if they are not in that pH, they're not going to do anything. Or if they are not in that normal temperature, which 37 degrees centigrade, they're not going to do anything. So you wonder why, oh, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling headache, oh, my stomach is too big, you cannot even breathe, because you ate certain kind of food. Sometimes some people feel that way, but I'll get to that in a few minutes, just to let you know that this thing is very important to us and we need to take it seriously. Lipase will break down, lipids, oil, anything that you have eaten that has oil in it. That's what is going to break it down, lipase. Then protease. Protease is what acts on proteins. You eat a bunch of eggs or meat, or anything that has any sign of protein in it. This is what is going to break it down, protease.
Wow.
All right. So moving right along. So what are the parts of an enzyme? Each enzyme has an active part, and you also have an inactive part. This area has a unique shape. That shape is what goes in and attach itself to that substrate. When it attaches itself to that substrate, it's able to act on it and dissolve it, breaks it down for normal use of the body. So the substance and enzyme work on a substrate. The substrate also has a distinctive shape. The enzyme and the substrate must fit together. So that is why you remember when I say carbohydrates is going to act on carbohydrate alone, because you already have that active site for carbohydrates. You will never see a protease trying to act on a carbohydrate.
So in other words, in other words, it's like the lock and key mechanism where
Exactly,
you have
like
to
a
fit
lock
this.
and key mechanism. Thank you so much. Like a lock and key, because if it doesn't fit, then you must
You have to
leave it.
you have to
You have to adjourn.
I quit.
You have to acquit the case. So if it doesn't fit, you have to let go. So
Okay.
when a carbohydrate is coming and is looking for a substrate to act on to break it down, when it's coming with the shape that it has, and there's no shape like that around, it withdraws. It's not going to act.
That's true.
But if he sees a carbohydrate that already have that shape that it can fit in, then it fits into it and it dissolves the substrate, breaks it down towards soluble juice that the body can absorb. And the same thing for protease, the same thing for lipase. So they are designed in certain way that they attract their substrate. And that substrate is meant to be broken down into soluble use of the body. So you will never see a carbohydrate that is just laying down like that, unless your enzyme is not active enough to engage that carbohydrate. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So unless there is a problem in that individual, and that is where you will see a lot of people accumulating a lot of carbohydrates in their body, then you see their stomach is becoming like that of a wrestler. Is becoming like that of this guy that fights wrestling in Japan. So when is coming like that, then something is wrong. Then you need to talk to your clinician for them to get you the help that you need. All right. So I mentioned this earlier. How do temperature and pH affect enzymes? pH. Enzymes are sensitive to acidity and alkalinity. So I'm going to use that so that our viewers will understand it correctly. Enzymes are sensitive to acid and alkaline solution. So acid is a pH that is lower than 7.
7.
Any pH that is lower than 7 is considered as acid. Any pH that is higher than 7 is, just for our viewers to understand this, is alkaline.
Okay.
So they don't work properly if an environment is too acidic or too basic.
Alkaline.
So, for example, an enzyme in the stomach called pepsin breaks down proteins. If your stomach doesn't have enough acid, pepsin can't function optimally. You see that? So that is why we want to make sure that the environment at which this enzyme performs are optimal.
So, for instance, let me just throw in there for those who are
Yeah, go ahead.
wondering about these pH, whatever it is. Water. If you take water, for instance, water has a pH of 7, which means it's neither
that's a neutral pH.
neutral, it's neither acidic or alkaline. So at least viewers will understand
exactly
the acidity and the alkalinity. So using as a reference point here.
Right. So I don't want to use the technical terms too much so that we won't get our viewers confused.
Okay.
So I want to use the lay term as much as possible. So your pH, like I said, if it's lower than 7, is acidic. If it's higher than 7, is alkaline. So if it's 7, then you are talking about water, because it's only water that has a pH of 7. Okay. So temperature also has a very, very high effect on enzymes. Enzyme work best when your body temperature is normal. And what is normal? It's about 98.6 Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius. As temperature increases, enzyme reaction also increases. But if the temperature gets too high, then the enzyme stops working. That is, it deactivates the enzyme. That's why a high fever can disrupt body functions. Somebody that has a very high temperature because of fever, the body might be reacting in certain way that the enzymes will not be able to perform. So in normal sense, they will want to reduce the temperature of the body of that individual before they start giving other medications that will help, in ensuring that the person is okay. All right. Next here is types of enzyme diseases. Well, febrile disease, which prevent the body from making enzymes, alpha galactosidase, that breaks down fat. Remember, I said something about lipids at the beginning. Yeah. So this alpha galactosidase A actually breaks down lipids, fats. If you are deficient of this enzyme, it's called febrile disease. And also there's Crab disease, globoid cell leukosterophy, affects enzymes needed for the protective covering of myelin, the nerve endings, central nervous system. So now we see how these enzymes are very important to us. Maple syrup urine disease affect enzymes that break down certain branch chain of amino acids. You see, for somebody that has this disease, you see their urine will look like maple syrup. You look at the cup, you'll be surprised that, wow, this one came out of someone. Of course, it's because the person has that kind of disease. Other health conditions related to enzyme imbalances include Crohn's disease, an imbalance of the bacteria in your gut microbiome may influence an autoimmune response of the intestinal tract. So, like I said earlier, some enzymes naturally are inside your stomach. Some people might take antibiotics, to cure certain ailments. Maybe they have some kind of infection and all that. But guess what? That thing you just perform, that medication that you just taken, is also getting rid of some bacteria in your gut. And those bacteria helps some enzymes to be active, to do their job. So when when those bacteria are out of place, guess what happened? The enzyme will not be at optimal. They won't be able to perform the way they're supposed to. And that is why it's always good to talk to your clinician before you start using any medication.
That's true.
Now, endocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which is called EPI, is a condition where your pancreas doesn't have enough digestive enzymes. You can't break down food or absorb nutrients. Chronic pancreatitis, pancreatic cancer, diabetes, or cystic fibrosis can lead to EPI. And like I said, EPI is exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. So you can imagine what this actually means. If you've had someone, or maybe you've read it somewhere, that somebody has a pancreatic cancer, that's what they are going through. Their body is unable to break down, the food substance because they don't have enough, and they cannot break down food or even absorb nutrients. So that's a very, bad shape. So whoever has that needs to be addressed immediately, and they will find something to do, to help that individual, as an emergency situation. Now, lactose intolerance. And this was a long time ago. That is a very good, example for this. Some adults still drink milk at the age of 50, at the age of 55 or
But,
60.
but but that is not breast milk, though. That's a different kind of milk.
This is,
You have to explain that it's not breast milk that we are drinking. It's a
I
different kind
mean,
of
I
milk.
mean, but just to expatiate a little bit on that, because I know Dr. Boyson was trying to give me a pointer right there, because some adults still drink milk at their at their age, and they discovered that their stomach is not tolerant to this milk that they are taking.
Yeah, I'm a candidate. Yeah, I don't drink regular.
So
I don't do
if you
regular
are
milk. Yeah.
lactose intolerant, what is going to happen is your body will not be able to absorb that kind of, and thank goodness they have such mix now that actually have lactose taken away from them. So you won't have to deal with that. If you are still drinking milk, in short, any adult should not be drinking milk that has lactose in it if you are age 40 and above. Because the enzyme in it is not going to help you to break it down. That's just the fact. That's the fact. So it's a shortage of enzyme needed to digest sugars in milk called lactose. So that lactose is what that individual doesn't have. And if you drink milk, you feel uncomfortable throughout, and it will look as if you are the only one that has the gas engine in the room.
Dr. Lord, you're funny.
Just keep that in mind.
It's true. Yeah, what you're saying is true. I mean, let me testify. Yeah, before I relocated to the US, I didn't know I had that problem, because anytime I drank the regular milk in Ghana, Ideal or whatever, Mekanish or whatever, I enjoy drinking the milk with tea or whatever. But then maybe 5-10 minutes after that, I have to use the bathroom, and I didn't understand what was going on. I never knew. For over the 20 years that I lived in Ghana, I had no idea until I came to this country, and then I had to go do my annual physical, and I was telling the doctor that my frequency to the bathroom was too much, and he kind of interrogating about my milk. I told him, okay, I drink regular milk, and he said, boy, you are lactose intolerant. You need to go, when you go to the store, whether it's Giants, Kroger, Fuller, whatever, look for lactose free. So that is what made me actually enjoy drinking milk, not the breast milk, actual milk, and it's very good. And now they even have the shape. So I said, no, I drank the liquid, the one that is packaged, whether it's in gallon or that paper box. Then I realized that those who were drinking the carnation in the tin, those tin milk and those small package condensed milk, I said, you guys are cheating me. You guys are drinking regular nice tin milk. So I was jealous until my wife went to, I think, Publix, and then she saw a lactose-free milk that is packaged smaller in a small container, like regular carnation milk, and she bought it. I tried it and said, oh, this is now, it's concentrated like the regular milk you guys drink, and it's lactose free, very beautiful. And then I also started preaching and telling other friends of mine who had the same issue. So if you realize that milk is giving you allergies or whatever, I mean, in my case, it wasn't severe allergy where I was dying, but then it's upset my stomach and I have to just use the bathroom to get. So that was a very good point you brought, that if any of you listening to us tonight, if you are lactose intolerant, that might be your problem. I mean, if you drink milk and it upsets you, talk to your doctor, clinician, and resort to maybe drinking the lactose free, because like Doc said, at age 40 and above, don't be drinking regular milk. I know of a story about a lady I saw on Facebook. This lady said her breast used to get so big, it was filled with breast milk, and I think she was lactating, giving her baby the breast milk, but then the baby wasn't drinking as much as she wanted. So it got big and she was kind of going through some discomfort. And she would bring her husband, boy, come and lie down and drink this thing for me. So the husband has to drink to get rid of most of that. I say, this guy. No, I'm not kidding. I'm just saying. You can go to Facebook. Some of these videos that come out, and I'm not joking. Where if she's lying, then I'm also lying. But I'm just putting it across. So it's something that some people do. So some people I don't know, the husband have to refine the milk before they drink, or drink it as it is. I mean, that is their problem. Anyway, continue.
That's okay, Chaz. Well, that's very good information to know.
Okay.
So, how are enzyme tests used to diagnose health conditions? Your healthcare provider can use a variety of enzyme and protein blood tests to check for certain health conditions. For example, elevated liver enzymes could be a sign of liver disease. So, this is what we do. Your doctor can order some tests and we say, okay, I want all the liver enzymes. Liver
Okay.
enzymes like the ALT, alanine transferase, or the aspartate transferase, which is the other
AST.
one. So AST or ALT, also they may order amylase, they may order lipase, they may order, series of other enzymes,
Okay.
but pertaining to a specific function of that organ. For example, you remember I said liver disease. It might also be for pancreatic, enzymes. Like you have a lipase also. You have a amylase in the pancreas, or they might even want to see whether the insulin, which I believe we've touched on
Yeah.
earlier on, insulin in your pancreas maybe is of no effect.
For
It might have
diabetes.
the same value that is normal, but it might not be doing what you're supposed to do there. So those are the things that we have to keep in mind, and also we have to be knowledgeable enough to ask a very good question when we are dealing with our clinicians, so that they will know that at least you are taking your health seriously, and you really want to know. Because if you don't give them that feedback, they will think, okay, maybe he or she doesn't know, let me just give him or her whatever I can. But if you have done your due diligence, you can tell them that, oh, this is what I'm feeling. This is what is not working. I'm feeling this way. You need to be proactive, to getting, your health in shape. Okay, so next one here is, do I need to take enzyme supplements? Well, the first thing first, people without chronic conditions can usually get the enzymes they need from a healthy diet. So when you eat your food that you're supposed to eat and it's measurable, it's also ideal. It's not people that want to eat and you have a bowl of a bar that is as high as this. That's too much carbohydrate for you. Or you have everything in small portion. You have meat, which is protein. You have rice, which is carbohydrate. You have some vegetables. You have carrots, apple, and all those things that are on the side. Then you should have water at least. Some people will eat a whole bowl of food and they will not drink water.
Yeah, that has a trick to it. Some people, I think, when they were growing up, their parents advised them to not drink water whilst they are eating because they didn't want to get full early. Early. So, don't drink water early, because you drink water early, you're going to be full and you have to stop eating. So you say, eat the food. And I don't
Yeah.
think that is healthy. But
It's
anyway.
not healthy. So your body needs water. Anyway, that's number one thing you should be doing. You should drink enough water. If you don't have anything in you, have water. Because water is what helps your body to actually be at
Digest.
optimal, to function properly. You have some food that you've eaten since yesterday, they're still there. Some of them are still going through, breaking down process. But if you don't drink water, guess what happened? Your body can shut down, and then you don't want that situation to happen to you. So your body pulls that, especially your kidney. Your kidney pulls water to purify your blood, and send it back to where it's supposed to go, so that it can continue like that, sending nutrients to where they're supposed to, like your brain, sending nutrients to where it's supposed to, like all the organs in your body, sending nutrients to where they're supposed to, like, your legs, your hands, you know. if you want to try what I'm saying, just have a tourniquet and tie your wrist. Tie it for like 5 minutes and see what happens. So if these things are not going through your body the way they're supposed to, if for any reason there is a shunt somewhere that is not letting that thing flow freely, there will be a discomfort and there will be a problem somewhere. So that is what I want you to keep in mind as our listener today, that water is very important to your body, and it helps those things, your enzyme, your hormones in your body to work optimally. But if you have certain health conditions, your healthcare provider may recommend taking enzyme supplements. So, like I said, you don't just go to the pharmacy and say you want to buy enzyme supplement and start taking it. No, that's not going to be useful to you. So you want to make sure that you've conducted a test. Your clinician has asked for those tests and they've gotten the results and they know which one is actually you are supposed to be taking. So you can't just be taking it. So some people will say, "Oh, I'm taking dietary supplements." Who recommended it for you? You don't know. You just out of the blue. Oh, it looks like I'm feeling headache, and maybe I lack some vitamins. You are just medicating yourself. So some of those vitamins might be too much for your body. Maybe your body has already developed some certain amount of it already. You don't know. So compiling it, making it higher than what is supposed to can also cause another problem in your body. All right. I think this one will make. Can medication affect enzyme levels? Okay, this is where I'm coming. So some medication affects enzyme levels. For example, antibiotics, can kill certain bacteria needed for some enzymes to work their best. And that is true. For example, amoxicillin. If you're taking amoxicillin, some people will have sore throat. The doctor may give them amoxicillin to clear their throat, and also maybe they have a stuffy chest and all that, just to help them. But guess what? When you are taking that antibiotics, what it's doing is also clearing some other good bacteria in your throat.
Good bacteria. The emphasis is good bacteria. So not all bacteria are harmful. We have some level of bacteria that your body needs.
Exactly. So might be getting rid of those good bacteria. This is the reason antibiotics may cause diarrhea sometimes, because you see that the enzyme that is really responsible for helping you to do certain things is no longer active. So whatever is supposed to be taken into your body, absorbed into your body, is not happening anymore. So everything just go down. They say the person is having diarrhea. To kill the bacteria making you sick, they also wipe out important good bacteria that aid in digestion. And that is why that person is having diarrhea. So keep that in mind. Statins. Some people use statins to lower their cholesterol level. And it's been also studied and is in a research this thing. You can go and find out. This can also raise liver enzymes and muscle enzymes. So if you are using statin, it's been proven that this medication can increase liver enzymes and also muscle enzymes. For example, creatine kinase will be over the roof if you are using statin. And you will be surprised. They will be telling you that, why is your CK so high? And you yourself will be wondering, because you are using this medication and you don't know that one of its side effects is that it raises liver enzymes and also muscle enzymes. They may increase the risk of damage to the liver and muscles also. So depending on how long you are taking this medication, because that is a compound effort. So if you've been taking it for so long, the side effect might be, increasing per time, and you may not know. And that is why after a certain period of time, you should ask your doctor or your clinician that you want lab tests, just to be sure You want lab tests just for him to know the levels of the enzymes, so that you don't overshoot, what you are supposed to be. Because if you do that, you yourself will be feeling it in your body that something is not right. So by all means, please don't be shy. Ask questions and also give them feedback so that they can help you likewise. All right. Next year is I have this year when to call a doctor, because like I said, don't be shy. When you have abnormal pain that you are not having before, please, by all means, call your doctor. Bloating or gas, you are passing gas unnecessarily. If you are lactose intolerant and you are drinking milk that has lactose in it, guess what? You will be passing gas, uncontrollably sometimes.
Did you have to add uncontrollably?
So that you know that you need to at least let your clinician know so that they can help you, mitigate that problem on time. Diarrhea, when you have diarrhea that you cannot, really pinpoint what happened before you have that diarrhea, you need to see your medical, your healthcare provider. Or you just feel fatigue all of a sudden, you need to be proactive and just let them know. Don't just brush it aside and say, okay, I will get better. You postpone it and it may get worse. You feel nausea and vomiting. That one, you just need to. You don't have, to guess yourself. Unexplained weight loss. When you have unexplained weight loss, please don't hesitate to do so. Call your doctor. Low red blood count. In fact, you probably won't know this until you visit the doctor. So maybe when they now bring back your lab result, they now see that, oh, you're anemic, your blood is low, this and that, then maybe they will take action then. Gastrointestinal bleeding. If you have any bleeding from your, stomach area, you want to pass through and you discover that you have blood, please, you have to. That is even emergency. You have to go to the hospital directly. So don't wait until it's too late. Some of these enzymes, they are very subtle, and you may not even know that they are acting. For example, if somebody say, okay, the bowl of eba that you've eaten now is being broken down in 2 or 3 hours, you say, why? How? But it's going on. But you may not feel it, but that is what is going on. But if for some reason you are not feeling fine, please call your doctor. Call your doctor to let them know so that they can go ahead and do what is next. Some people run out of the lab because of the needle. But will you rather wait? Will you rather wait till when it is worse and they will use even more than needle on you?
That's true.
So that is something
That's
to
a
think
good
about.
point.
That's one thing to think about. So thank you so much. And of course, there are references there and the feedback, comments, and questions. Please go ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I think we are doing good on the time. I don't think our telephone picker is available, but to get in calls. But then the few questions I had, I think Dr. Olewede already responded to them. I think one was, what were the things that affect an enzyme? And I think you did answer concerning the pH, the temperature, the pH, the enzyme concentration, presence of any inhibitors. I think another question was about what are the attributes of enzymes? And I think you already mentioned that enzymes are very temperature specific. They play an important role in what you mentioned, digestion of food and order. And then they also, well, I think one area is they are used in industries. When you talk about processing food and all that stuff, enzymes are also used. And then enzyme can also be used in, they are also concentrated specifically. Their concentration is specific, and they are also pH control. So the good thing to know is all about optimal. That is, everything has to be in a balance. I mean, Doc mentioned the higher temperature. So if you are feeling feverish and your temperature is going up, it kind of messes up your enzymatic constitution because you're also thrown out of whack they can't work in that non-optimal condition. They need optimal temperature or condition, because if it's too low, they can't work very well. If it's too high, they don't. So they want that optimal 37-degree body temperature. So it's very important that we take all these things into effect. And I think that is about all. I don't know whether I have any more questions. I think you did answer all the questions that, I think the other thing was why enzymes are important. I mean, you mentioned digestion, they break down the large molecules of food, even respiration. I didn't even think too far about respiration being enzymatic control, but it's right there. Nerve
Yes,
action, yeah, they are all important. So at the end of this reaction, they themselves, they don't really get broken down. They aid in the reaction. That's why I think we did say that if you eat a bowl of rice or fufu or whatever, you don't go to the bathroom and produce fufu. It comes out in the different situation or condition. It's been worked on. Enzymes are poured upon it, and they keep passing it, because when you eat, let's say you eat steak, or your food might be steak, rice, whatever. This is a mixture of food, but when you eat and it gets into your stomach from there, each of the enzymes works on it and passes on to the other one. So Doc mentioned that there are some enzymes that are specific. They are the carbohydrates. They won't work on protein. So when they get the food that you put in, they work on the carbohydrate part of the food and they pass it on. And then the proteinases also take it. They work on the protein aspect. They break it down and they keep passing until it gets out of the large or the small and large intestine before it's actually passed out. So these are very good knowledge that we have to know. Our health is very important. I mean, if you can imagine what goes on into your body every day, you'll be wow. Because whilst you are just walking in the mall, enjoying life, the Chick-fil-A you went to eat, the body is working on it internally. And every now and then, the stomach will remind you. Let's say, if you are hungry, can you imagine sitting by somebody in a bus, and the person is either so hungry or something, when the peristalsis is going on, when the body is churning the food in the stomach, and you can hear this growling stomach. Sometimes it's so uncomfortable. I mean, it's happened to me before, where I have to hold my stomach. Hey, boy, shut up! You are being too noisy. You can hear the stomach making that noise. I mean, it's kind of embarrassed, but hey, it's part of nature. Or maybe, I mean, either you've eaten too much or you are so hungry, your stomach is continuing that is what we call peristalsis. It's like a wavy condition, like you sit in the wave and the food is being passed, because the intestines are not that big and the food is trying to push and squeeze. And as Doc said, can you imagine all this without water? The fluid that will enable all this thing to pass. So some of you go to the bathroom and it's like a hurricane is coming, you can't poop, and it's so, I mean, huge. And oh man, you need to drink water, boy, because you make it so difficult for your stuff to pass through and eventually come out. You are sitting on the toilet and you are crying. That thing is not coming because it's too big. No water worked on it, and you can imagine how stubborn this thing is. So water is life. You have to drink water. All right, Doc, your final closing remarks, and then we'll be out of here.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Boyson.
Welcome.
So we've learned a lot today. I just want us to keep those things that we've discussed in mind. And also, I think the final takeaway from me will be, don't be shy. Talk to your clinician when you feel of anything like this. In the last slide, they're saying abdominal pain, bloating, gas, diarrhea, fatigue, nausea, and vomiting, unexplained weight loss, low red blood counts, gastrointestinal bleeding. You don't want to wait till when it's too late. Yeah. So please involve your clinicians in your thoughts, things that you are thinking about. Don't hesitate to call them, to let them know, this is how I'm feeling. This is what I've never felt like this before, but between 2 or 3 days now, this is how I feel. Don't be quiet. I know people from Africa, we have respect and all that. Please don't be shy to take on what is going to benefit you. Don't be shy to take on what is going to help your health, because by the time you realize it might be too late. So thank you so much for listening. And if you have any follow-up question, please don't hesitate to send to us, and I will be glad to answer those also. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. Dr. Oloyede has a PhD in public health, so he knows what he's talking about, and he's also a medical technologist. He's in charge of the chemistry department in one of the federal labs in Bacton, North Carolina. So he is a seasoned, chemist who understands the principles, especially when it comes to lab values. If he runs your blood and tells you this is your results, you can't doubt it. I don't know whether what is his name, the doctor that used to always challenge lab results. I don't know whether he's still there, but it's funny how some of the doctors will say, "No, I don't believe this lab result. Are you sure it's correct? Hey, come and read it yourself." So thank you very much, Doc, for gracing our 1 hour. I know next week, God willing, if you are able to do it, we have to get the Jubilee people with their various teams to come and see Jama a little bit behind, and let's see who.
Yes, because next week is grand finale.
We'll see who's going to win. Whether the 6-0 that somebody incurred in a soccer is going to stand, or they're going to break that record. So, well, thank you very much. Until we come your way again next week or thereafter, have a good evening and enjoy life. Finally, we'll tell you elections are coming on November 5th. If you haven't registered, please do, because November 5th, we have to decide who presides over the affairs of this country as the CEO and the president of this country. Go register, vote, and let's see what happens. Thank you, Doc. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir. Bye.
Chimafidi non kotu era one radio. Samupe jumpe dietia. Chimafidi non kotu era one radio. Oh, ayum pampuma. Chintu asam pampuma. Chintu agratumuma. Era one,
all right, today is my good friend, our family friend, Tina Dankwa in Virginia Beach. Today is your birthday, and I just want to give a shout out to you. May God bless you to continue making more mileage and grow in grace and enjoy the bliss of life. We'll see you.
Me dindi acrobat. Me a businessman. At the same time, so me sansu ye actor. Me nyata mpo en makwara sabia. Ekosi se dakro. Me ni me business for. Eshia ye meeting. Prekope me call off. Me urufi bio. Me nusu te me no. Na mo banahin specialist hospital. Wow. Enfidie ni. Me shinsa hodwo. Na mu say yes hospital. Ebidi de biachi.
Me hu se mayo kakra. Nanka me san contract bi eneya aji bibia. And problem is by the Cambodia Mama Aqua Masamba.
Oh, man, worry. A person will treatment. No, and so your facility waha, we born our new business partners na meeting. Madam one say, and hospital one way. I want I use my minimum casting. Open to call to me Campo, Banahin Special Hospital. Call, they are ready to help you.
They are 4 women. They are beautiful with brains. They are eloquent, decent, wise, and experienced. You have heard many, the funny. Now, it's time to hear the experience and the brainy. Meet Selena, Dorcas, Gifty, and Annette as they present the real in common getting. In common BISS chain, the dead, as in Takrenu assume the dead, the real in common getting. Showing live this and every Sunday, 7 p.m. on Era One Radio on Facebook and on YouTube, Era One Radio and on Taibo channel. Kaise, so we see the real in common getting ya. What brabon tete, we nyan